Teen online streamer Akatsuki receives an invitation to participate in a special stage of infamous video game, The Ones Within Genome, known for causing its players to disappear. He's suddenly transported to a remote forest, alongside fellow players Karin Sadayashiki and Kaikoku Onikasaki. While searching for a way out, they are suddenly pursued by an enormous panda, which Akatsuki manages to befriend due to his friendly nature and convince it to leave peacefully, much to the amusement of the game master Paka, a mysterious man in a suit with an alpaca mask. They are subsequently brought to the Genome Tower and introduced to 5 other participants: Anya Kuro, Zakuro Oshigiri, Himiki Inaba, Yuzu Romari, and Makino Aikawa. All of them online game streamers that received the invitation and wound up here. Paka explains that all of them have been chosen as active players in the game and are being broadcast live 24/7 in order to attain 100 million views of their gameplays, lest they will spend permanent imprisonment in a white room of endless waiting that would drive anyone insane. Akatsuki, Karin, Zakuro, and Anya are tasked with completing a Ouija board game by fulfilling its 3 wishes for their second stage after fleeing the panda, and retrieve a chromosome as a proof of their completion. The first is for water, the second is for a friend, which Akatsuki offers to be, and the final wish is him. The Ouija board attempts to kill him, first by dragging him down the window, where he's saved by the panda, and then setting the building on fire. Akatsuki promises instead to come find her after clearing the game, and escapes with a few minor burns. For the third stage, Paka introduces them to a nurturing dating simulation game, to raise an attractive girl from an egg to be the flawless lady, Murasaki, to capture the heart of the school's prince, Hikaru Genji. At the same time, he allows everyone to go freely as they please within the district, Avenue 13, except for floor 51 and above of the Genome Tower, as trespassers will be punished. Himiko, Makino, Akatsuki, and Anya are nominated to participate in this game. The first trial involves hatching and incubating the egg for an hour, at a temperature of at least 38 degrees Celsius and appropriate humidity, which Himiko performs with ease and dedication. As the girl hatched will be determined by the breeder's preferences, Himiko urges everyone to envision their ideal type of girl. But what is birthed is a miniature version of the giant panda, with a feminine attitude and afro hair. Murasaki is accidentally charmed by Makino after gazing into his eyes, but everyone persuades her to go to school anyway. And with the girls, and Iride dressed as one, infiltrating the classroom to watch out for her, Hikaru is revealed to be an insecure teacher who uses his good looks to feed his narcissism. As Murasaki's muffin is crushed by him, she makes more and gifts them to the players instead, confessing that she loves all of them. With her love fulfilled, the players earn the second chromosome. After the stage, Yuzu returns to her room and opens a closet plastered with photographs of Akatsuki. Kaikoku and Zakuro reveal that while other players are playing stage 3, the 2 of them snuck to floor 51 after discovering that the entire city was completely vacant, save for the players. However, as they were found out, Paka sets an S-level difficulty stage for them to conquer next as punishment, called Exterminate the Mimicry Man-Eaters, and sealing them within the Genome Tower. As the first Mimicry Man-Eater appears in their room, it splits the group in 2, with plans to regroup and meet at the basement food storage room. The monsters multiply extensively in their chase, frequently imitating the appearance of their comrades to fool them, but the group successfully manages to meet as the sun sets. Akatsuki reveals that the Mimicry Man-Eaters operate based off sunlight, and due to night falling are currently inactive, allowing Yuzu to arrive with a bunch of countermeasures. Yuzu digs out a bag of poison needles and hands them out to the boys to kill the monsters the next sunset, while leaving the girls and Makino behind to protect their food source. In her room, Kaikoku finds her closet of Akatsuki pictures and begins to suspect that not all the players are allies. As the sun sets on their second day of stage 4, there are 5 vials left. Akatsuki accompanies Karin to use the toilet at night, but leaves halfway to use the men's restroom. There, he is confronted by Yuzu, who reveals her startling knowledge of Akatsuki's habits after dedicating her whole life to observing him. She identifies him as the control of the Mimicry Man-Eaters and kills him. After the stage is cleared, the real Akatsuki, having learned about Anya's sleep disorder, causes periods of insomnia until he collapses from exhaustion, gets a bottle of sleeping pills from Paka, only for Anya to punch him in the face, feeling as though he's a burden and unused to being helped. The 2 make up soon after, with Anya indirectly apologizing and confessing that he wasn't really angry but grateful. The players proceed to stage 5, which takes place in Kakuryō, the land of the demons. Paka tasks them with saving the girls kidnapped by a race of invincible Oni. The players visit the village elder, Kihachi, and his granddaughter, Kika, who give Yuzu the idea of having Makino and Akatsuki pose as female sacrifices, relying on the power of Makino's eyes to charm anyone regardless of gender. However, the plan goes awry when Makino falls asleep and Karin is kidnapped instead by Kika and the Elder, revealed to be the Oni themselves. As Karin is captured, Akatsuki negotiates with the Elder and offers to go with him willingly, and should he be unwanted, Kika is free to dispose of him. As the other players lament their situation, Yuzu reveals that she placed the transmitter in the Akatsuki's lanyard, and promises to track them down and save everyone. A flashback shows that Kaikoku was treated like a tool by his grandfather back at the Onigasaki house due to being the next heir, causing him to rebel and run away from home. In the present, Iride and Karin are held in a cage at the Oni's mansion. Iride manages to slip through the bars, but Karin is left behind and turned into one of Kika's maids for her life-size dollhouse named Veronica. He crawls through the ceiling vents and manages to meet with Zakuru and Kaikoku, who have come for the kidnapped girls and Karin. The three split up to the three towers of the mansion to find the trapped girls, which Iride discovers first and heads back into the room he was initially caught to find the key. However, he is severely injured by Kihachi until Paka arrives to stop him, reminding Kihachi of his existence as a mere game character, and stressing Iride's importance to the game, although this is unexplained. Iride offers to be friends with Paka and escape this place with him, but Paka rejects him, saying that he is bound to a promise and causing Iride to cry. Meanwhile, Zakuro finds a player bracelet with his twin sister, Sakura's, name on it, causing him to go into a panic. The three boys meet up back at the underground dungeon to free the captured girls and Karin. As Kika appears, Zakuro attempts to question her, but she lies that she got rid of Sakura, causing him to go into a rage until Kaikoku steps in and threatens Kika. With Kihachi no longer responding to her calls, she confesses that she really cannot remember a girl resembling Zakuro from 2 years ago. As Kaikoku leaves, however, she taunts him for being jealous of her close relationship with her grandfather. Meanwhile, back at the Genome Tower, Yuzu watches footage of Iride's every move from a POC camera. Stage 6 moves to the isolated ruins of Karakara Desert, where a girl and boy must proceed through the dungeon to retrieve the 5th chromosome from the Guardian of the Temple. However, the catch is that players must not lie no matter what. By drawing lots, Anya and Himiko are chosen, much to her fear and terror. As they make their way through the ruins, Himiko tries to strike up conversation, asking him if he's been sleeping well and taking his medicine properly, but Anya lies to her. This causes mummies to emerge and attack them. Himiko uses her flash grenades to break through as Anya fends off the remaining mummies with a steel pipe, emerging into a crumbling bridge. However, one grabs the motorcycle helmet Anya has on his neck, nearly strangling him until he unclips the helmet and defeats the mummy. Himiko makes a grab for it, and Anya tries to pull her up, but the two fall down into the abyss when the bridge crumbles. Outside the temple, the rest of the members relax with cool drinks due to the heat and having nothing to do, wherein Paka reveals that he suffered from burns all over his body years ago, hence he cannot expose any skin. Hidden in the trees away from the others, Kaikoku confides in Zakuro about his suspicions regarding Iride and Yuzu. Zakuro is further shaken when Paka warns him how Kaikoku is first in line for the White Room. In the abyss, Anya wakes up from a dream when his oldest brother, Kenya, died in a car accident after going out to buy ice cream for him. The two unexpectedly find the Guardian, an alpaca design carved into the wall, who requests that they answer 3 questions without lying. It begins with their first love, and is followed by 5 good things about the person they rely on the most, Iride, which the Guardian has manifested through a slime medium. The final question, confession, asks them to name their sin, to which Himiko admits that she killed her older brother. Later, Iride muses how he wants to collect all the chromosomes, and Yuzu tells him that this dungeon is unsuitable for him. Anya recalls Himiko explaining how her parents attempted to protect her and gave up her brother for adoption. He subsequently went missing for 7 years and was declared dead officially, causing Himiko to lament why her parents wanted to save only her. Stage 7 escalates quickly into a game of hide-and-seek, with the 3 curse-stealing sisters, Misery, Isabella, and Carrie, tall, monstrous triplets with an eye patch each that operate based on a bell rung every 15 minutes. Paka limits the game area to their unlocked rooms and corridors of floor 6, and explains the rules. If a person is caught once, his or her vision will be stolen, but if the person is caught twice, his or her eyeballs will be next. The only way to remove the first curse is by touching someone that hasn't been cursed, and the aim of the game is to have nobody remaining that is cursed after an hour. The first round proceeds with the 3 girls, Kaikoku and Zakudo being cursed after 2 rooms were opened, meaning that the 3 out of 8 probability has a low chance of succeeding unless all of them manage to receive help immediately after being cursed. The second round returns with all of them deciding to split up. When Kaikoku hides in Yuzu's room, he finds a strange photo of a man and a woman resembling Iride and Yuzu wearing lab coats, but with their faces scribbled out, as well as a suspicious stack of research papers titled Experiment Data on District 13. As Anya and Iride are cursed this time, Iride attempts to leave to find someone pure, but realizes that Carrie is waiting outside and blocking the door. This forces the 2 boys to hide in the same room, despite being cursed once, escaping a close call by switching hiding spots from inside the wardrobe to behind its doors. The final round has them on a gamble, as everyone stays in the same room, with Iride promising them that the sisters won't come. Everyone clears the stage without being cursed. That night, everyone is in bed for a good rest, while Kaikoku scans through the data files on each of the players he stole from Yuzu's room, with only 2 files of Iride and Yuzu that are missing. Surprised at how detailed the information is, he finds a note detailing how his grandfather is on his deathbed, and heads up the levels of the Genome Tower angrily with a sword in hand. The next morning, Zakudo is shocked to find that Kaikoku has disappeared, having been admitted to the White Room. Paka brings Kaikoku his breakfast the next morning, advising him to eat after the anesthetic administered to him has worn off. Paka also explains that he now has to wait for his friends in the room alone until they reach 100 million views, with a newly added player bracelet on his wrist to make things easier for the workers here should he die. In retaliation, Kaikoku bites Paka's hand. When Paka returns to the Genome Tower, the rest of the players announce that they are going on strike and refuse to participate in any games until Kaikoku is returned to them. Zakudo asks if Iride is on their side, to which Iride promises that all 8 of them will be back together again. To give everyone a chance to redeem the prisoner, Paka offers them a 72-hour puzzle game for Stage 8 with 30,001 pieces. In finding the piece that does not belong, they will hence earn the password combination to the White Room to free Kaikoku. While explaining the rules, he warns Yuzu to know her place, hinting that he picked a puzzle game on purpose to test her specialty. The players take turns napping while Yuzu insists on working non-stop on the puzzle. As her genius intellect tells her that it is impossible to make it, Karin comforts Yuzu and uses her photographic memory to help, as everyone watches on, believing in her. Meanwhile, back in the White Room, Kaikoku recognizes the player bracelet to be similar to the one Zakudo found in the Oni mansion, and discovers a secret tunnel beneath the bathroom tiles. He comes across a group of 3 players who were likewise sent to the White Room: Nanami Omishima, Chihiro Akafuda, and Zakudo's sister, Sakura, who managed to live and survive in this place nicknamed the Underground. Nanami reveals to Kaikoku that the name 13th Avenue doesn't mean that there are other places like that. Rather, the name of the place is updated each time the players change. The entire game occurs on this unpopulated island where supplies and people are frequent, only that Paka hides them well. Kaikoku also discovers that while Sakura and Zakudo are twins, the 2 are very different in their personality, with Sakura being more outspoken and brave and preferring to work with her hands. As the 2 wade into the drains to find some tools, Sakura speaks about a legend where mermaid ghosts exist here, only for the water to ripple disturbingly. The underground drains turn out to be populated by goldfish. However, Kaikoku soon feels hair wrap around his ankles and pull him underwater, where he sees a gigantic, carnivorous goldfish. Luckily, Nanami and Hiro come to their aid, with Nanami mentioning how 4 years ago these goldfish were involved in a game stage. Paka notices that Kaikoku has disappeared from the White Room, although its door is still locked. Kaikoku speculates that Paka may have let him escape on purpose to round up all the defectors, and strikes up a deal with Nanami to exchange information from time to time. Yuzu, her confidence regained, explains the Lun algorithm. She then requests that she manage on her own, with Karin left as a body pillow, when there is 30 minutes remaining. In the unlikely chance that she fails, everyone will use the last resort method suggested by Anya prior to the stage's beginning. However, halfway through assembling the puzzle, Yuzu throws up and Karin rushes to find someone in a panic. Yuzu longs to touch someone and not be alone. feeling the Ouija board ghost, whom she calls Big Sister, pat her head. Paka takes pity on her and helps her fill in the border of the puzzle, before leaving a final piece behind and warning her not to forget her master again as a recorder. The players manage to unlock the White Room and free Kaikoku, who returns there momentarily after promising Sakura not to tell her brother. In the infirmary, Kaikoku confronts Yuzu about the data in her room, to which she explains that she's a minor prototype, or recorder, for the game, who sends all information to Paka regarding the player's emotions and thoughts, and allows Kaikoku to decide what his next action will be towards her. Kaikoku decides to call it a truce until Yuzu has decided whether she wants to be their friend or foe, remembering Zakuro telling him how she worked herself till she collapsed for his sake. As he leaves, Yuzu thanks him wholeheartedly. Paka invites them to a virtual reality, or VR, simulation game for Stage 9, where the players from the Ouija board game will have to raise the child versions of Kaikoku, Yuzu, Makino, and Himiko, so that the bulbs on their heads will bloom into flowers, based on the amount of love given to them. Players will clear the game when 3 out of the 4 flowers bloom. Himiko is easily done by Tamagoyaki, Kaikoku by his favorite dried fish, and Yuzu by Akatsuki and Karin praising her intelligence. Although this meets the condition for clearing the game, Paka reveals that there has been a glitch and Makino still remains connected in his capsule and synced to the game, which means that he will still remain in his child form. Even with the help from the now reverted Yuzu, Himiko, and Kaikoku, Makino refuses to bloom and seems to look extremely sad. Iride manages to find Makino's real body, held in the game, and chats with him about love. Makino recalls how his parents always fought and neglected him, but he was taken care of by his kind teenage neighbor, Sumide, as a child, falling in love with her. However, Sumide never knew his feelings and fell in love with someone else instead, causing Makino to turn to love games for comfort. Iride confesses how his mother isn't actually related to him, but despite that he still loves her, and advises Makino to move on even though his love interest isn't looking at him. Child Makino blooms, with further prompting from Zakuro, who asks to call him by his first name, into a hilarious afro head flower. As everyone laughs, Paka looks over the game monitors and warns that the real fun is about to begin. Everyone speculates whether Makino has a girlfriend and his actual age, with Iride being the only one guessing that he is older than him. Paka invites the group into a bonus stage, where players gamble to double their coins and win attractive prizes, with the grand prize as a wish-granting trinket, where Paka will grant the wish of a person provided it's within the game. The players go around gambling, but as Iride plays a game, he's sucked into an alternate portal and disappears. Paka assures that Iride will not come to any harm, but as the stage has a 2-hour time limit, if Iride does not return, the game will close and he will be stranded there forever. Paka gloats that the likelihood of Iride returning is low though. In the portal, Iride sees a vision of a woman, resembling him. Everyone decides to save Iride using the ticket. With only a few minutes left, Makino manages to earn close to 5,000 coins by playing slots, half of the ticket's cost. Yuzu decides to bet 5,000 coins on one game with the highest probability of winning, high or low, where the player guesses whether a face-down card is higher or lower than the first card dealt. As Paka deals an 8, which is the midpoint value of the deck, everyone is stuck in a dilemma until they recall Iride's firm conviction that Makino's girlfriend is older than him, and how his predictions have always been correct, and filled with conviction despite the odds, managing to win and save him. In a pre-credit scene, the woman from Iride's vision, his adoptive mother, assures a dark-haired man that her condition is stable in the Iride household. He walks out to a car where Karin's detective brother and Anya's brother Shinya await. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.